two well-dressed men are talking at a rooftop bar about 70 stories from the ground floor. They overhear a guy talking about how he's a hedge fund manager and how much money he makes. One of the well-dressed men mentions to his friend how much he hates hedge fund managers. His friend agrees. The hedge fund manager makes his way over and asks, "So what do the two of you do for a living?" One of the gentlemen replies, "Well, I'm a billionaire, so I don't really do anything for a living. In fact, I own this building." A little daunted, the hedge fund manager replies, "Nice." He then turns to the other gentleman and asks, "What about you?" The other gentleman replies, "I'm a meteorologist of sorts. I have a fascination with wind currents." The hedge fund manager scoffs and says, "That can't pay very well." The gentleman replies, "Oh, it doesn't, but this guy here is my best friend, so I don't need a lot of money." The hedge fund manager says, "Tell me a little more about the dynamics of wind you find so fascinating." The gentleman responds, "Follow me over to the edge and I'll try to explain it and give you a demonstration." The three of them get to the edge of the roof and the well-dressed man begins his explanation. "You see all these high-rise buildings? Well, the wind is constantly blowing between them, but what most people don't know is that the concrete below heats up during the day and forces a strong updraft. Here, I'll show you." He then proceeds to step off the ledge. The hedge fund manager gasps, but can't look away. The well-dressed gentleman falls about 10 stories, and the updraft brings him right back to the roof. The hedge fund manager exclaims, "Oh my God, that was awesome." The well-dressed man says, "Give it a try." The hedge fund manager steps off the edge and falls 70 stories to his death. The well-dressed billionaire shakes his head, looks at his friend and says, "You're a mean drunk Superman." A man wanted to literally die with his dollar, so he trusted a third of his money to a priest, a third to a doctor, and a third to his lawyer to bury him with it when he died. After his death, at the man's funeral, the priest whispered to his dead body and placed a bag in his coffin. The doctor then proceeded to whisper to the body and placed a bag in there as well. Then the lawyer went and dropped off a bag and moved on. As they were carpooling back from the funeral, the lawyer asked what the priest whispered. The priest, with tears in his eyes, said that he had to confess he spent some of the money on an orphanage so that some hungry kids would not starve, and that he feels bad for what he had done, but that he had no choice. The doctor then admits that he too had to let him know that one of his patients needed a surgery that he alone could not do, that he spent some of the money to save the person's life. The lawyer looks at them with scorn and says, "How could you? You have betrayed a man's last and dying request." The doctor and priest look at the lawyer and asks, "So your bag had all the money he entrusted you with?" To which he replies, "Damn right, I wrote the check for the full amount, not a penny less." Two men and a woman are stranded on an island after a plane crash. Resourceful, they waste no time, build a house, find food and water, and globally have it good. After 1 month, the woman goes to the two men and says, "Okay, guys, let's be frank. I have my needs, you have your needs, let's do it. We'll take turns, one day it's you," she says to the first guy, "and the other day it's the other." And so they have a whale of time taking turns, enjoying their business together for 1 whole month. However, unfortunately, the woman dies after that month, because of a rotten banana or whatever. The two men mourn the loss of their playmate and partner for the following week. Then, one man goes to the other and says, "Okay, man, let's be frank. I have my needs, you have your needs, let's do it. We'll take turns, one day it's you, and the other day it's me." And so they have a good time taking turns, enjoying their business together for 1 whole month. The first man then goes to the other and says, "Okay, man, I need to talk to you." "Yeah, me too actually." "We had a fun month, but I think we should stop." "Yeah, I felt this way too. I feel what we're doing is not natural." "That's right. Let's stop." So they nod their head in common understanding. The second man then says, "Well then, shall we bury her?" An American spy is in Soviet Russia, digging up information on a powerful Russian politician. He finds him in a bar, walks in dressed in Russian attire, pretending to be Russian. Everybody in the bar looks at him, but he keeps his cool. He orders a drink and walks to the politician. "Greetings, comrade," says the spy, but before he could finish his sentence, the Russian says, "I think you are American spy." The spy is alarmed, but being a skilled, trained spy, he says, "That is not true. I am the proudest Soviet there is. I can sing the anthem more beautifully than any other man in the country." He then proceeds to sing the Soviet anthem, so melodically and beautifully that everybody in the bar cheers. very good," says the politician. "But I still think you are spy." The man continues to keep his cool. "I am a historian. I can tell you everything about this glorious country." He then spends about 2 hours recounting the revolution, the Great Patriotic War, about how superior to the Russia is in terms of technology compared to America, and makes a great argument about how communism is beneficial to society. "Amazing. You are skilled," says the politician. The spy smirks. "But I still think you American spy." The spy is getting frustrated, but still unfazed. He replies, "I am good drinker, a true Russian. Let us drink and see who can come out top." The bar turns its attention to the politician and the spy, who are now in a drinking contest. The bartender serves drink after drink of vodka. After about an hour of drinking, the politician nearly passes out, unable to hold as much liquor as the spy, to a resounding cheer amongst the bar. In the midst of the cheering, the Russian politician gets up, smiling, and in a slurred speech, repeats, you are good, but I still think you are a spy." The American spy, pissed drunk, loses his skill and gives up. "Okay, you got me. I am an American. But what made you think that way, after all this time?" The Russian politician replies, "There aren't many black people in Russia." A woman enters a grocery store. "What are these round green things back there?" she asks the cashier. "Those are apples, ma'am," he responds. "Okay, can I have a kilo, and pack only one per bag, please?" Next, the woman walks up to another shelf and asks, "What are those orange things I am looking at here?" "Those are tangerines, ma'am," the cashier responds. "Okay, can I have a kilo of these as well, and pack only one per bag, please?" The woman walks to another shelf and once again asks, "What are those red things I see over here?" "Those are strawberries, ma'am," the cashier responds. "Okay, can I have a kilo of these as well, and pack only one per bag, please?" Slightly annoyed, the cashier proceeds to pack the strawberries. "Sir, I am sorry for the inconvenience, but could you please tell me what these black things are?" the woman suddenly asks. "Those are coffee beans, ma'am, and they are not for sale," responds the cashier. Hey there, I put a lot effort into making these videos, so please subscribe for more jokes and stay happy, thank you.